Welcome back to the Keto Bistro. Thank you for joining us. And today we're going to do some real cooking, not just some of the easy keto cooking that I have on there before. I'm going to cook some keto lasagna. So instead of noodles, I've tried zucchini, I've tried the egg thins. All of that's great, but what I like the best is cabbage. I cut up some cabbage. So about 2 cups of cabbage. Boil for a while, and then ground beef. And I'm going to use a half a pound or around a half a pound of ground beef. So no carbs. I'm going to brown the ground beef and boil the cabbage until the cabbage gets a little soft. Now I like to cut it into smaller pieces. I don't want long pieces that cover the whole thing because it gets a little bit hard. So this is about as big as I'll use. So I want to make sure that I don't have too many big pieces. I'll add a little bit of salt to the cabbage, a little bit of salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder to the ground beef. I want to talk about the pizza sauce. So you can use spaghetti sauce, you can use marinara, but please check the labels on the back of these. They can vary greatly. Both of these are pretty low in carbs. Both serving size is a half a cup. On this one, you have 6 carbs, 2 dietary fiber, so you only have 4 net carbs. On this one, you have 8 grams, 2 dietary, so you have 6. On this can, you have 5, so this total jar is 30 carbs. This total jar, you get 6 servings at 4 net carbs is 24 carbs. I get this more for my kids. This is a little bit chunkier. It is marinara, but this is what I love, and I use it for my lasagna. It's made with whole tomatoes, 0 grams added sugar. So once the ground beef is browned, I'm going to keep it on low. So I've let the eye cool just a little bit since it was brown, and then I'm going to add the marinara. I'm not going to use the whole jar, so I'm not getting all of 24. It's going to keep about a cup, half a cup. So I'm going to use about 20 net carbs. This is the best lasagna. It's better than not keto. It's better than with the actual noodles. Okay, now to the meat sauce mixture. I'm going to add a half of block of Philadelphia cream cheese for 4 carbs. And then I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of sour cream. Now I have 2 different sour creams here. Make sure you read the pack, because this one for 2 tablespoons has 2 carbs. This one has, for 2 tablespoons, 1 gram of carbohydrates. So I'm going to add 6 of the 1 grams for 6 carbs straight to the meat. Make sure I'm going to turn it up just a little bit to medium instead of low medium heat. And I'm going to let that mix in. So I use the cream cheese and sour cream instead of the ricotta cheese. I like the taste better and the texture better. Look how good that is looking. When the meat mixture's done, I'm going to turn it off, but I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle with some Italian seasoning while it's still warm and mix that in. And for my cabbage, I'm going to drain. I'm just going to take it out and drain it in a colander. I've taken more than half the meat mixture out to save for a second pan. So I'm going to get 2 pans of this for a minimum of 8 servings, big serving, and it has around 6 grams of carbs. The other 2 things we need, and you don't have to have Parmesan. I make it sometimes without Parmesan, but mozzarella And then I'll just add a little bit of Parmesan on the top layer, not a lot. I'm going to use this whole bag. The whole bag has 16 carbs. The Parmesan has half that. I allowed for in my 6 grams for 20 grams of carbs, so we're not even going to get 20 grams of carbs using both of these. So the first advice I have for you is to put this layer on the bottom. When you're baking, you do not want to put your cabbage layer on the bottom. So I'm just going to scoop, not even a full layer of it. Then I'm going to put some cabbage, and see, they're in smaller pieces, because if they're not in small pieces, it makes it harder to eat and chew. So then I'm going to add another smaller layer, and then a really nice layer of the mozzarella. Another layer of the cabbage, and you can put as much cabbage as you want, as little, not, I just kind of layered across the bottom. This will be the last layer for this. So on this layer, I'm going to add a little bit of the Parmesan. So I'll make my smaller lasagna in just a bit, but I wanted to show you how to bake this. So you'll want to preheat. I'm going to bake one and I'm going to freeze one. So this one will give me lots of meals. Like I said, my husband will eat this. One of my kids will eat this. The other, she's not into the meat sauce. So that's why I saved some of the other sauce. I'll make her some noodles. Bake it. Preheat your oven, 375. Bake the smaller one when my oven gets preheated. So there you have one to freeze for lunches, suppers, something later, and one to bake now. You'll want to let it cool. All that yummy bubbly cheese. And I'll get at least 4 servings out of this and 4 out of the other. The reason I use the cabbage is it makes it not as gushy and watery as the zucchini. So I'm going to scoop some out. It hasn't cooled quite as much yet, but I can't wait. And there you have it. Keto lasagna. There you have it on a plate. I'm going to eat a salad with it. And because I have a lot of fat already, I'm going to use the Skinny Girl dressing instead of ranch. You may have Italian or something else you like because it only has 5 calories and no fat. All right.
That looks good. I want some.
What?
I want some.
Okay, it's on the oven. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.